One of the best kept secrets is that you no longer need Microsoft Office, and you could be just a consumer Gmail user or one of our customers and a Google Apps user. So I just wanted to show you briefly how you can use some of these tools, because not a lot of people know this. I'm sure I've heard that before. Anyhow, so in the top right hand corner here, we have these 9 little squares, and if you click on them, it brings down a menu of applications that you can use, whether you be using Gmail or Google Apps. So if we select the Google Drive app, this is what you see. And in the left hand corner here, this red button where it says new, if you click on that and then choose Google Docs, what you actually get is like a word processor or Microsoft Word. So the first thing you should do with any new document is give it a name. So you can see my naming convention is laughable. And all you do is start typing. And there you go. That's it. It's really that easy. So now we've typed this letter. We would normally send it as an attachment, but with Google you don't. And there's a very good reason why you shouldn't. Whenever you send an attachment, you're basically making copies of things. So it's a bit like taking a piece of paper, putting it under the photocopier, photocopying 10 copies because you want to send it to 10 people, popping those 10 copies into 10 envelopes and then posting them to people. All right, we use email. People then read, and invariably these days they'll have some form of comment, and then they'll want to send something back to you. So the problem gets worse. So you've now got 10 copies in circulation. Hopefully you've had 10 replies. There's now 20 copies. If you're the originator of that document, you've then got to make all those changes to your original document. That's not a good idea. So with Google, top right hand corner, what you do is you basically share that one document with everybody. So I'm going to share this with myself. So you do that by putting in that person's email address, and you can put a short message here. Have a look at this. And basically you can also allow the person that you're sending this document to be a co-author with you, so they can edit. Or if you spend hours on a spreadsheet, we'll cover the spreadsheet in a minute, but if you've spent hours on a spreadsheet and you don't really want any of the formulas mucked up, you might want to choose this option here so that they can only comment on your document, which is always helpful to get a second pair of eyes to look at anything. Or if it's just for information only, they can only view that document. So for this example, I'm going to say that I can edit my own document. And if you're going to share this document with everybody, just take a look at this Get Shareable link here. Now this might change depending on whether you're using Gmail or Google Apps. But you need to change this link. This is using Google Apps, but this is the screen that you're looking for. So you want to share this document with either public on the web or anyone with the link. I tend to use anyone with the link by default, because obviously if you share it with anybody, if somebody stumbles across your document, they'll have access to it. Whereas this limits their use. If they don't have the link, they can't share the document. And as you can see here, no sign is required for either of these. So you could, in fact, use any email address and they will be able to see your document. But what I suggest you do is you test it and try it for yourselves. And then you hit the blue send button. and basically that sends an email to me with an attachment to this document. So hopefully, I've just heard the email come in. There it is. So there's the invitation to another email account. This is a little confusing. I have 2 email accounts, so it helps when you're demonstrating things like this. So this is the email that 1 or 100 or as many people that you want to share that document with would receive. And by clicking on this here, it then opens up a browser session to my document. Voila, how good is that? And the person could actually be in Australia or in America or in mainland Europe or across the desk. And as you can see here, there's now 2 people editing this document. So we could co-write this document in real time, which is absolutely revolutionary and fantastic. So I can make changes to this. I can delete bits if I wish, and those changes are being made instantly. So as you can see, this document is saving automatically. There's no old Control S to save. How many of you have been working on a document, never saved it, and your machine crashes, only to learn that it wasn't saved? Later versions of Word do save your document fairly regularly, but this version of Google Docs, you don't even have to do that. It does it all for you. So what happens if somebody makes a change to this document and it's not in the same time frame as you, i.e., let's say they're in Australia and they're sleeping now, it's 11:53 UK time, I'm making changes to a document, and you might say, well, you know, I don't agree with that change, and the document, because there is only one, has been changed. Well, that's really easy, because if you go to the file menu and you look at this, the history, you can actually make those changes go away. So these are the changes that I've done. So I'm going to click that and basically say that's the copy that I want. So the changes that I've made have basically been taken out. So if I hit restore to this version, voila, I go back to the original copy. So I hope from that you get the idea. That's it. It's really that simple. However, there are still many people out there that don't work in this manner. And if you are using Google Docs on your Android phone, on your Android tablet, on your Apple phone or your Apple tablet, or in this example here, your Microsoft PC, you might want to send this document to a person that isn't aware of this hugely time-saving way of working, and they might want to receive the document in the old way. Well, you can do that. So you go to File, Email as an Attachment, and what this does is it allows you to automatically convert it into a PDF document by default. But if you're wanting to send this in a Word format, you can send this to, I'm just going to use another email address that I've got. I've used it for a long time. I think it's, here it is, an old Hotmail address. I'll type. And you can always send a copy to yourself. And I'm going to do this because I'm actually not logged into this, the Hotmail account, so I won't be able to show you this, but by sending a copy to myself, I will be able to. And what that does is basically sends a copy in the old-fashioned way. So if you're wanting to send an attachment to a colleague, you can, and there's the acknowledgement that the email's gone. And it basically sends it as an attachment. I don't actually have Word installed on this machine, which again is something that we've all experienced in the past. If you don't have the right application to open the document that's attached, it's a problem. Well, obviously with Google, it's not. You can just click on the link, it'll open a browser and you can start editing or viewing or changing that document on any device. So really, really good tool. So I did mention that we'd also have a look at the spreadsheet version. So again, if you navigate to Google Drive, click on the red New button. You can also do presentations as well with Google Slides, but I'll use probably the most common application that we all use, which is a spreadsheet. And there you go, straight within the browser. So I'm going to give this spreadsheet a name, and you can start work on your spreadsheet in exactly the same way as you would in any Excel document. Always like to use this as an example. So we want to sum A1 multiplied by C1, and we can create our 3 times table if we wish. So it's exactly the same. So if you wanted to share that with a colleague, exactly the same. You can, this is when I was saying earlier, if you've spent hours working on the spreadsheet, you might want to just say you can comment on it. But similarly, if they do change any cells on that spreadsheet, you've got the same function here where you can look at the revision history and you can take it back to its original format. And similarly, you can email this as an attachment, but of course in this particular instance, default PDF, it's going to be sent as an XLSX or a Microsoft Excel format as an attachment. So really, there is no reason to have Microsoft Office installed on your machines. And this is really good. So that's the end of my video. Please, if you watch this on my YouTube channel, please subscribe, because there will be other introductory getting started videos being produced. And if you have any questions in relation to this, ask them and I will get back to you. So thanks very much for watching.